Hello, welcome to my channel and welcome to today's workout. We're going to start off with squats. I like starting my workouts off with my compound movements. There's my kid. There's my kid in the background. I like starting my lifts with my compound moves because those are going to be what's exerting the most energy, and I want to be able to give my full effort in my compound lifts. This Smith machine is angled, and so if you see here on the side view, when I'm standing straight up, my feet are more forward. They're not directly underneath me, and this is because when you're squatting, you want the bar to track in line with the middle of your foot. And so as you see when I go down, the bar, if you draw a straight line down, it'll meet the middle of my foot. And because this Smith machine is angled, I have to put my feet more forward so that it enables the bar to track in the line that it should. My gym does not have a leg press, and so we are improvising and making a leg press with this. It works so good at isolating your quads, so if you haven't tried this one, definitely give it a go. Make sure that you keep your back pressed flat into the ground and keep your core tight, and don't go so low that your butt is going to lift up off the ground. You're only going low enough and within the range of motion that keeps your back and your butt on the ground. Now we're going to move on to our hip thrust. I train lower body 3 days a week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and I will always include a hip thrust all 3 days of those weeks. It's a compound movement, but it is very, very good at isolating the glutes, and the fact that you can load the bar very heavy. It's easy to work your way up in weight on the hip thrust. It is such a great movement for the glutes. Definitely add these into your routine if you have not. And for an extra challenge at the end of each set, do an isometric hold for as long as you can. Now we have calf raises, and this one is fairly straightforward and to the point. One thing I will say is I noticed a big difference in my ability to contract my calves when instead of thinking of coming up on my toes, I think of it as bringing my heels up and forward. And I feel like this one gives me a much better mind to muscle connection, and the contraction is it's definitely there for me a lot more when I do it that way. And now we have a yoga ball hamstring curl. This one's great because it targets the hamstring and the glutes, and the hamstring and glutes they're like a dream team, and they like to work together. So this is a very great exercise. Just keep in mind, make sure your core is tight during this exercise and you're not letting your lower back arch. Your back will not like that, but keep your core tight and your back flat and your hamstrings will be lit up. To finish up, we're going to do some lateral banded walks. This one, I like to keep a slight bend in my knees, but not fully squatted. I feel like when I squat, it hits more of my quads, but when I keep a slight bend in my knees, it targets more of those side glute muscles that we're trying to target. And make sure your knees are not caving inward. And also, the higher the band, the easier the exercise. The lower the band on your legs, the harder the exercise is going to get. Last exercise is going to be externally rotated cable kickbacks. And when I say externally rotated, I mean your foot. Externally rotate your foot and kick out at a slight diagonal angle. And you're only going to go as high as you can go without arching your back and letting other muscles take over. We're keeping this just isolated to the side upper glute muscle. And that wraps up today's workout. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you get a great pump, and I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.